Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it. You will already know. Let me scoot this closer. Like a torta with a bad habit. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to the intro, man. Let's really get to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you. I'm very humbled by it. So Toro crashes out, huh? He went Swifty Blue on him. Soul gang. He went Swifty Blue on him. Little Toro decides that he's going to take a page out of a Southsider's book, man, and go in on Northern California industry rap. You know, and I have something to say about it. First of all, great rapper, right? I've always thought Little Toro, hey, besides the sexual shenanigans, the J-Cat fucking attitude, the Mongolian one day, not the next. Besides all that, right? There's no denying this man could rap. He could rap, man. He's always been a good rapper. Not the greatest, but he's definitely better than a lot that's out there right now. Hey, Lefty. Don't sleep on the kid, right? He could rap, but I'll say this. He puts a song out the other day, and it was basically a crash out song where he decided that if for no other reason, and definitely no other reason than not being a part of the shenanigans, decided to disrespect the Northern California car when it comes to rap. He disrespected Rico Too Smooth. He disrespected Lazy Boy. He disrespected Goldtoes. He disrespected the legend Woody. Let's say the legend Goldtoes too, because these guys are both legendary in what they do and what they have attributed. And he disrespected Big Mister. Okay, now look, I'm not a big fan of Big Mister's music, not because I have any disrespect towards him. I know him. It's because I have never listened to any of his music. Now, I haven't heard one song. So I don't know what category this guy would put him at, but whatever. Big Mister definitely impacted this guy's life because this guy chose to disrespect him. Now, when you are no longer part of the reindeer games, when you are outcasted, when you are considered trash, you're not active no more. That's not for you, homie. You are not welcome to the pachanga. You are not invited to dance with the chick that danced with Crucito. Okay, can somebody get some? Not you. You know, that we're in the same boat, bro. Besides the sexual shit, like I said, that's a different boat. That's all. That's you know, that's the minnow. I'm riding the Titanic. I don't know what you're on, right? But when you are pushed out or you are exiled from a gang, the Norteno gang, you know, the best thing to do is to continue life the best way you can. Now, that doesn't mean in Little Toro's case, he's not a good rapper. He can't continue to pursue his dreams. But that just means that demographic right there of Northern California, they're not going to support you no more, no matter what you do. So I could see the animosity. I could see the hatred. I could see the disgruntledness in what Little Toro is and what he does. And that's, he decided to do the baby bashams. He decided to go in on all these Northern California rappers. Now, you could talk all the shit you want about Rico Too Smooth, whether you don't like him or you do like him. There's no denying the fact that he's talented, man. He's a good rapper. He represents the Norte. He represents his hood. He represents Sacramento. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. I understand he gets into these little, you know, back and forth on the internet with certain content creators or certain, you know, rappers that ain't feeling him because of his demographics or because of what he's from and what he represents and him being a, you know, a black northerner. There's always going to be that there. He's always going to be judged by a lot, but there's no denying he's good. To sit there and to dissect him and basically make a rap song and insinuate that he's a coward or he's anything more because you're not able to function at the level he is, well, that's just some bullshit. Now, I'm a non-active gang member, and I support everyone. Active, non-active, it doesn't matter. And I think what Little Toro did is he's craving attention. Case in point, Big Goldtoes, man. It's Cinco de Mayo, and I know Goldtoes, is somewhere out there really getting it in, man. He continues to put on for the people, for the raza, to enlighten people and to show them that GT Digital, man, is number one when it comes to, you know, the Latin hip hop game, the hip hop game, period, man. He continues to make waves. That's a shark in the ocean right there, man. And he's not sharking people out of their money. He's not buying people just to bite them, but he's taking a bite out of this game, man, and spitting it out for the rest of us and letting everyone know, man, that you can achieve and you can be something. Don't never let no one tell you that you can't. I fuck with Goldtoes heavy, man. I love his music. I love his production. I love, you know, what he's trying to do for the raza and for everybody, brothers and everybody, man. And there's always been this personal hatred with Little Toro and Goldtoes on one side, not on Goldtoes' side. I've never seen him even elaborate or mention Toro's name if it wasn't about business. I've never seen him disrespect that man or go in on that man whatsoever. I don't even know if he even realizes that Little Toro still exists, whether it be in a one-bedroom apartment, a tent, dancing with some torta in the middle of the street, making a music video, whatever he's doing. I don't think Goldtoes knows he's doing that. But there is some disgruntledness there, whether it was a business situation that Little Toro had some interactions with Goldtoes in the past, which I'm sure he did, and I know he did because when he was still active, he was still participating in the gang thing. He was still in good standings. Of course, anyone that's been throughout Northern California has had some interaction with Goldtoes as far as the scene, you know. He is the music scene in Northern California, so you go through him to get to it. Now there's a lot of other individuals that are doing their things out of SAC and whatever the case may be, who are not seeing eye to eye or function, you know, at that level with Toes, and that's understandable. But at the end of the day, there's no discounting what he has brought to Northern California and what he continues to bring. Now, Little Toro was upset. You know, I've been around him. I've had conversations with him behind the scenes, you know, a long time ago. We no longer have those interactions. I've chose to step away from him because of the allegations of the things that people are saying and the things that I've seen. And I'll say this, you know, he's never spoken about Goldtoes in a proper light, even around me. It's always been a disgruntled human being, like I said, business-wise, and being that he feels that Goldtoes has influence with homies. My thing is this, but when you're not active, when you're no longer wanted around, you know, in your mind, you could still say, I'm not ready to give it up. I'm still with the business. I'm still a homie. That's your mind, bro. But in the minds of many others in Northern California, you are not it. You're not him. Sorry. You could rap all you want, talk all the shit you want, but you're not never going to be him, just like I'm not never going to be him. I've conformed to that fact. I get it, and I respect it. But you need to understand, you got to grasp it, bro. Grip it. Rub it on your nipples. You got to get active in your function. You got to get disactivated and go function somewhere else, because just because you talk about guys doesn't mean they're going to recognize you. Now, you got talent. You got skill. You know, you can go be whatever you want to be in life, but in Norteno, you can't, just like I can't. There you go. For various different reasons. Now, this stuff that I see him saying about Goldtoes on this song and calling into question Goldtoes' business acumen, man, is frivolous, false, and just incomprehensible, right? I don't comprehend it, bro. You know, I don't get the fact that you weren't able to make it, or you were distant. You know, you were distanced for a reason, and now you're upset. Now, I get it. You don't like Rico Too Smooth. You've never probably met him or interacted with him, but you see him getting that money, and it's fucked up to be a pocket watcher and to hate on someone else's pockets. It really is. As far as Goldtoes, he's going to continue to have more money than me and you combined. And hopefully one of these days he can send me $100. You know what I mean? There's no interaction there, but there's a lot of respect, I'm sure. But, you know, I've been around Toro in real life, and I heard him, you know, mention Goldtoes, and there's a certain look that comes over his eyes. He just has a lot of hatred in his heart for him, and I don't understand where it's coming from. You know, let that man do him and put on for the homies, and respect that. You know, as an ex-Norteno, I'm always going to have love for the Norte. Norte ganger don't bang to me, right? I'm always going to have love for them. I respect Southsiders. I show them a lot of love and respect, and I think they reciprocate that, those that fuck with me. Then there's those that don't, and it's cool, right? But when it comes to the Norteños, even though I know these are the guys that if they see me, they get me, allegedly, right? Or they don't like me, or they feel some type of way about me. No one could deny that when I did it, I did it. No one could deny, man, that I'm not sitting here slandering or defecating on their character or hating on them. Whatever personal interactions I have with someone, that's a one-on-one thing, and I'll handle it one-on-one. But as far as the group as a whole, I believe in that huelga. I believe in what they represent. I believe that in order to achieve and obtain the things they want of social status and equality, they got to continue to set their precedent, their mark, and plant their flags. Do your thing, homie. I'm just not pushing the propaganda of gang violence and division. That's just not me, right? But I don't hate them, not whatsoever. So we're going to get to Toro and what he's told me, man. You know, like I said, he doesn't like Goldtoes. According to him, man, Goldtoes played him out of pocket, and he felt that, you know, Goldtoes should have did more for him. But here's the thing that kind of tripped me out when I seen this music video that Toro put out where he's disrespecting all the rappers in Northern California. A week ago, I just it happened to come across my page, man. Toro had did a community post where he was requesting, you know, that Goldtoes recognize him and that they work together, and could he please reach out to him and this, and that. Now, I knew just seeing that, man, it was a plea for man. I'm just trying to get on. And ain't no knock on Toro, man. He's trying to make his money. He's trying to hustle, man. Can't no one hate on him for hustling. He's doing his thing. But at the same time, you can't in one light ask a man for his help, extend your hand like, please, man, pull me up, pull me up. And then when you don't get the response that you know you weren't going to get in the first place, you know he can't have interaction with you. You're trash, bro. Just like me. We're considered basura, right? I embrace it because I know in real life I'm a real one, right? But if you can't embrace that yet and recognize that you can't be mad at another man for what he's doing in life, then you're always going to be stuck in that mindset of where you're at, right? And so when he asked Goldtoes for the help and Goldtoes didn't respond, because I didn't see no comment, whether he did behind the scenes or not, I don't think so, but he didn't. Now all of a sudden he throws him into a song bashing him. Now it could be just a song. Music is music. You know, nowadays, that's the thing to do. Diss records, crash out, clown, and then double back later and say, oh, I ain't really tripping off that dude. I know I called him gay in the fucking song. I know I called him a snitch in the song. I know I called him a sucker in the song. I know I did this. I exposed that. But, man, that's just YouTuber. That's just music. That's not the music I'm used to. You know the music I'm used to? Where did you come from, baby? And oh, don't you until I found out he was all bad, too, and then I had to cut him off. That's the way he made me feel, right? I had to look at the man in the mirror and realize, man, I had to fucking jam on it and get a nucleus up out of that song. But at the end of the day, nowadays, it's all about disrespecting, talking shit. And I see it. I see what Toro did. He said, I'm going to let my talents do the talking for me. I'm going to disrespect all these guys so I can get some attention. It's all about attention. But I got an issue. And I don't got very many issues with Toro. I don't fuck with him. He don't fuck with me. That's cool. We're going to keep it pushing. But the one issue I have, man, that I thought should be voiced, if no one else is going to do it, I will, is Woody. We actually got two issues, man. The lazy boy thing, too. We're going to get to that. But Woody, right? Woody's a legend in Northern California when it comes to the rap scene. Woody left this earth in good standings. Woody wasn't in question. Now, his record ain't flawless, just like anyone else's. There's a lot of questioning when it comes to whether he could have spoke up for his homeboy Snoops and whether all that bullshit is real life and whether he was behind, you know, whatever happened that got Snoop incarcerated forever. That's neither here nor there. Snoop's doing his time and Woody's not here to defend himself. So we're going to leave it where it's at, right? The question will always be questions that are going to be unanswered. But when it comes to Woody, man, his presence in Northern California is still felt to this day. His raps, pretty much the best Northern California rapper that ever came out as far as the Northerner scene, right? And for this guy Little Toro to disrespect his legacy, to implicate that there was a faulty narrative spread on Woody's death, to say that he faked his own death, man, you know, it takes a lot of balls, but it also takes a lot of fucking hate to do that, to slander a man's character that can't defend himself, to realize that, man, that's the ultimate crash out. You know, if you were ever a Norteno, man, then you respect Woody and his get down. If you couldn't cut that cloth, bro, if you couldn't make it, he did. Why are you mad? I'm not. You know, I respect his music. I got all his albums. Let me show you guys something. I got all his albums. Okay? It's what I do. That's Woody right there. I respect it. I love his music. I like what he put on for. You know, I'm not a hypocrite. Just because I'm not active anymore in that gang life doesn't mean I'm going to switch my music genre up, right? I'm going to support and respect everybody, North and South. But, man, that's blasphemy coming out of Toro's mouth, disrespecting Woody like that. I know it sounds good on wax. That banging on wax shit does definitely sound good. But the disrespect there, the level of it, man, bar none, is stupidity and hatred. Now, let's talk about Lazy Boy. And there's no love lost there. I don't care for Lazy Boy's agenda to push his propaganda that he's the super hardest motherfucker that I ever ran into or that ever got ran into in San Jose, because I know dudes in San hold that shit bigger than him. But I'll tell you this. He's definitely a factor out there, man, whether you like it or not, when it comes to music and various other things. So Toro is pushing propaganda that he's heard on the internet, on social media, to disrespect Lazy Boy from Sanho. Now, I pulled up to Lazy Boy's area, not on no disrespectful shit, kind of on some fun and games, even though I know life ain't all fun and games. And I went to the store where he functions at, and I did my little shenanigan and skit. It was all love, right? Whether he likes to believe that or not. And I understand repercussions for actions, but it's good. I'm good with it. I can live with that. But I've never called him out of his name. Okay, there's a certain content creator out there or someone who makes shorts that continues to disrespect. You know, he's biased, North and South shit, and he calls Lazy Boy Lady Boy, and they disrespect him. And they got this story that was put out there by a bootsy ass content creator about him having interactions with, you know, a man that didn't identify as a man that day. Here's my thing. I know that to be untrue. I know that to not be fact-based. I know that just to be propaganda and someone talking shit. So I never ran with that narrative. I never did a video on it. I never elaborated on it. I never even fucking ran with that because it's very disrespectful, man. You don't question a man's integrity. You definitely don't question a man's sexual preference. That's, you know, motherfuckers die over less. So I just would never do that just because, man, having been in Norteno, man, I'm not going to put that on another Norteño's jacket, especially one that's active, period. But to go with the narrative of a content creator that calls this dude Lady Boy and to say it in your rap song, you're pushing PC politic propaganda bullshit, bro. You're going with troll narratives. You're disrespecting your own gente and people that, I mean, one day you're an active Norteño, the next day you're not. We all know, look, I'm going to break it to you, Toro. Respects and everything, man, for being a good rapper, but you are not an active homie. Okay, I don't give a fuck if you parole that. I don't care about none of that. They don't like you. Period. They don't like me, and they don't like you a little bit more, right? And that's just how that goes. But to disrespect like that's just crazy, bro. The crash out is real. You know, when Swifty Blue did his thing, I like the beat. I like the lyrics. I like the music. The guys he was talking about besides Lefty Gunplay and maybe Bozo, I didn't know who the fuck he was talking about. Haters World, I obviously know him now, right? Didn't know who the fuck he was talking about. Could care less. It was just cool hearing him rap and defending himself. Little Toro, you're not defending yourself because no one's talking about you. I am right now, so you're getting a little bit of shine. But I'm not going to deny the song. It's good lyrics, it's good beat, it's good all that. Your production's never been subpar. It's always been good. But come on now, man. If you have any respect for what you once were, you know, you don't go back and disrespect legendary people like Woody or Goldtoes. You know, if you got some semi beef with Lazy Boy or with Rico Too Smooth or Big Mister, and the reason I haven't mentioned Big Mister too much in this content, I don't know who he is. You know, I've heard the same stories Little Toro's talking about him getting socked up or slapped up and all that. I don't know whether it's true or it's untrue. I wasn't the cucaracha by his huarache when it happened, so I don't know. See, I don't push rumors. I'm not Timex Social Club. I don't do that. You know, I'm more into speaking the real. You know, I think Little Toro was foul for this one. I think he disrespected a living legend in Goldtoes and a fallen legend, man, in Woody. And I think he should double back on that and at least put out something out there that this was not serious. But I mean, if this is the way he feels, each man is entitled to speak and do whatever he wants to do. I just think, man, it was done in bad taste and it wasn't classy. You know, Northerners have always carried themselves different from everyone else. There's a certain level of class and professionalism that was instilled. And if Toro was really doing it like he says he was, then he understands where I'm coming from. This ain't it. This ain't what Northerners are supposed to do. Back in the days when I heard Mousy and who was it? Mousy and Louie Lou going at it, man, to which you're related. Toro, so you know Mousy, that's your Theo. When you guys were when they were going at it, I was like, wow, I never seen Northerners bang on wax against each other. It was pretty different, red on red. Maybe not red on red, you know, on the yard, but red on red in the studio, which just always boggled me. Anyways, man, Little Toro crashed out. If you haven't heard the song, go listen to it, man. Tell me what you think. Again, I'm not into pushing propaganda and bullshit, man. I think it was done. It wasn't classy. Like I said, man, you know, that disrespecting of Woody, man, that's a fucked up situation for you to do that, man. And for you to disrespect Goldtoes when he's putting on, bro. Just because I'm telling you, last week the dude was like, hey, what's up, Toes, man? If you see this, man, get at me. Let's work together. And then a week later, he's disrespecting him in a song. If that doesn't show you crash out, I don't know what crash out is. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown, and I wear it well, right? And I'm going to continue to do what I do, which is striving and continue to make that motherfucking, make them waves for the people, all people, not just North or South, but everybody.